Welcome back to Mountain Connections. Up next, I am so excited to be sitting down with Debra and Colleen and Vicki. They are from the Utah Conservatory Choral Society, and we are so excited to talk about your recent travels to New York City. So thank you so much for being here this morning and being with us on our show. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's good to be here.
So just to start us off, if people aren't familiar, I would love for you to kind of introduce yourself and what you were doing in New York City.
Well, I'm Debra Cook, and I'm heading up the Utah Conservatory Choral Society. So we were tracked after our interfaith project last year from this production company in New York City. And when we sent them our tape of what we did when we did the Rudder Requiem last year, they asked us to join them on President's Day with a collaborative choir from around the country and have us sing that in Carnegie Hall with their award-winning orchestra. So
that is incredible.
That was our project.
That's amazing. Yeah. That is so great. And you've been, and I'm assuming it was a great success.
It was fantastic. We loved it. It was really exciting to learn from our choral director, Jonathan Griffiths, who's incredible, and to perform there in Carnegie Hall and say, we've done that.
Check that off the box.
Well, and the Saturday before, Jonathan flew out here, and we had 78 Park Cityites that came together to sing the same Requiem. And within 2 rehearsals, he brought us all to a cohesive union that we sounded amazing. And then to be able to experience that same thing in New York, where he brought 270 of us together in 12 hours of rehearsal to a cohesive union with their orchestra. We got a standing ovation. So
I'm sure you did. I mean, it just sounds like
it was so thrilling.
Something to see, of course.
Well, and it was, and also our Debra Cook here was the soloist for the
Debra.
Requiem.
That's
and
incredible.
It was gorgeous.
She did amazing.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And it was my Carnegie Hall debut.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, and I was just over the moon about it. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. Congratulations on a solo. And then you are both from the Treble Makers. Tell us a little bit about that branch of this choir in this event.
Okay, so the Park City Treble Makers is a 16-voice women's a cappella group. And we sing in the community. We're nonprofit. We've sung at a lot of different things besides having our own choir. We will be doing a spring concert on May 31st at the Park City Community Church. We have a good relationship with them. We get to use their facility. We'll be singing at the memorial service in the park on the Memorial Day. And so we go and we sing at a lot of different places, and we really have fun. We've been off right now, and we're starting up again on Monday for our rehearsals. But we have 16 great vocal performers. Vicki's one of them, and there were 4 of us that went, and we just love singing.
I love that.
I'm a second alto. There's 4 of us, second altos, and so there's 4 in each section, and so sometimes we split, so we have 8 parts. And we've sung songs like ABBA, and we've done a lot of musicals, and it's usually around 17 songs that we have to we memorize so that we can then perform and get into the music. But we love each other, and it's a beautiful community collaboration of a whole bunch of different people of different ethnics, everything, that we come together and become one. And Colleen is our director. Yeah. And we have a lot of fun, and we work really hard.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it would take a lot of work, but the reward is great.
It's fun, even the work is fun.
And so not only were the Treble Makers represented in Carnegie Hall, but they also came and performed in an off-Broadway musical in a New Works Theater Festival last year.
Very
cool.
And
we had them represented. So they've done national level work as the choristers, and what we were asking them to do in this musical was a cappella work. And it was so gorgeous. So every performance
It's
is
great
fabulous.
because of Debra. We've been able to sing off Broadway and in Carnegie Hall.
I mean, those are some big names.
Yeah.
Those are some big checked off box. Tell us about the performance. We're looking at your pictures now. I mean, what was it like? What was the highlight?
Everything.
Yeah, New York City.
Well, all the rehearsals too. I mean, he brought us up to even higher professional levels than we already were. And some of the members sitting next to me were in different church choirs throughout the United States and never even thought of having this possibility, and they were scared to death and felt like they were out of their element. But to be with them and hear them increase their capacity to, he brought everybody up to a higher level. And it was, I do have to say one thing, Jonathan Griffiths, when he was here, he turned around to the audience after we finished performing in Park City, and he said to the general public, do you realize what a wonderful opportunity we have here because of Debra Cook? And I'd like to give that kudos to Debra right now. I had the opportunity to perform. I got to sing and dance and act, which I'd never done before last year in that off-Broadway production. And Debra, I would never have had that opportunity at my age. I mean, it's a dream come true for a lot of us.
Yep.
And thank you, Debra, very
agree
much.
with
Welcome. We have so much talent here and so many opportunities that we can take advantage of. And I just want to thank also the Interfaith Council and their community for how they kind of helped us to develop a core over the last 6 years of doing interfaith projects, and that they could step away from what it was that they created, and that we had a community that with their own wherewithal was able to take what they had learned and their friendships and come together to do this kind of a project. It's a very big step for our community, I think, for us to be able to show that it's not just a destination place for the arts, but we have a very rich arts community within our own community here.
We have a very strong musical community, arts community, but it's wonderful to be a part of.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it was a great event in New York City. You performed at Carnegie Hall. You got to check that off your list. And thank you so much for being here on our show this morning to tell us about it. It sounds like it was just absolutely incredible. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have much more to come on Mountain Connections, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.